Hello everyone, my name is Helen Spafford. I am based in Kununurra, Western Australia, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to speak to you today about some of our experiences with fall armyworm here in WA. I've been asked to talk a little bit today about some of the risks for Gippsland growers based on our current understanding of fall armyworm here in Australia thus far, and I'll also talk about some of the management options. The fall armyworm is the common name used for Spodoptera frugiperta. This insect is native to tropical and subtropical America, where it has been considered a pest in maize, cotton, and other crops grown in those regions. The fall armyworm was first detected in the Torres Strait Islands just north of Australia in January, and shortly afterwards it was detected in Queensland. By late February, it was found across a larger area in Queensland through into March. And then in late March, it was confirmed in Darwin, Katherine, Douglas Daly in the Northern Territory, and then in Kununurra, Western Australia. It has continued to spread southward, both on the east and the west, with recent detections and established populations in New South Wales and detections further south in Western Australia. So far, though, in Western Australia, we only have established populations confirmed in as far south as Carnarvon. We don't have confirmed populations in Geraldton or Gingin area, though we've had detections in both those locations. The bottom line is, though, that Australia's conditions are favorable for this insect, and there are several key features of fall armyworm biology that will govern its distribution and its impact. These features include that it doesn't have a diapause or a resting stage, which means it has to have active populations or active development going on all year round. It needs suitable temperatures and food for those populations to continue. So this means that we'll probably see established year-round populations in the north based on climatic matching that you see here in this Climax model produced by CSIRO and their collaborators. We'll see that, we expect the fall armyworm will establish and do very well up here in the north in these areas of red and yellow, and then have more seasonal populations in these green areas here. So, we expect that there'll be an annual migration from north to south every year. Another reason this insect is considered a serious pest is because of the number of host plants that it is reported to eat. It has been recorded on over 350 different plant species around the world. However, it has definite preferences for grasses and grass crops. So it's expected to be a particular problem, and we've seen it as a problem in our major cultivated crops, including maize and sorghum, and sweet corn, but we've also found it, and it's been a problem in Rhodes grass. It's been detected feeding on melon, mung beans, and there are reports of it also as in chickpea. We've seen it feeding on the foliage and also on the ears and the fruit of the plants, with highly variable effects. In some crops, there are significant losses. In others, it's incidental damage. So one of our early challenges with fall armyworm has been learning to identify the larvae. They are very similar in appearance to other pests that are already present in Australia, including Spodoptera, so other moths that are in the same genus as fall armyworm, but also other moths that are in the same family as fall armyworm, like Helicoverpa and Heliothis and such. The young larvae are typically very hard to identify visually and distinguish those from other larvae that may be present. There are a number of resources now available at different from different organizations, including AUSVEG, to help us identify fall armyworm. The key will be distinguishing it from the pest caterpillars that you have in your area. So knowing what you have in your area and understanding how those look at the different stages of development will help you be better prepared to identify a potential new caterpillar pest that will be in your crops. And regular scouting will be essential to managing this pest, not only for early detection, but also to inform your management decisions once it becomes established in the area. So managing fall armyworm can be challenging, and this has been confirmed in my conversations with growers here in the West, but also with our colleagues in Northern Territory and Queensland. We are currently relying very heavily on pesticides for management, and the APVMA has a number of products that are permitted for use in different commodities for fall armyworm management. These have had variable success in our current attempts to manage fall armyworm because there are issues with both the application method and the timing of application, and basically just getting good coverage so that fall armyworm is exposed. One of the aspects of fall armyworm behavior is that it likes to hide in crevices, and it's very well protected from contact with insecticides. We've also detected the presence of resistance alleles in the population in WA to the group 1 insecticides, and it's highly likely that those resistance alleles are present in all of the fall armyworm within Australia. There's also the possibility that other resistance alleles are present, and this is currently being researched. What this means is that we really need to engage in very careful use of insecticides to ensure that pesticide failure does not occur, and that where our management practices are not promoting resistant populations. We're also going to need to incorporate natural enemies into our management programs, such as Trichogramma pretiosum. This is a parasitic wasp that has shown promise overseas. It's also an egg parasitoid that's present and already being mass reared in Australia and has been used effectively for other similar pest insects. But further research is needed to develop a suite of natural enemies that may be useful. Trap cropping, particularly for other cash crops other than sweet corn, also may be really helpful in managing this pest. We've seen that fall armyworm loves maize, sweet corn, and will preferentially lay their eggs and feed on that crop even when other suitable hosts may be nearby. So in summary, fall armyworm is a really challenging pest to manage worldwide, and we have a lot to learn about what it will eat and what its impacts are here in Australia. And working together in a collaborative way is really the best way we have to address this significant challenge. Thank you.